Hi, I'm Lita Liepin.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to a very special edition of Our City Tonight. Why, Jim?
Well, we'll tell you where we are in a second, but what's special is that we are about to begin with this episode, our 11th year as Our City Tonight. Lita, many of our viewers may know, we started back in 2015 as an online show, moved to television in 2016. Here we are. Oh my goodness, it's 11 years. We are starting our 11th year.
We are, and I'm going to give this. We did it.
All right, where are we, Lita Liepin?
We are in Yaletown, actually Marina side, Quayside Marina, and right across the street from this most beautiful restaurant we filmed here before, Provence Marina side.
That's right, and the view behind us is what you see from Provence. We will start our 11th year inside, cozy and warm in Provence after you watch this. Well, as we mentioned off the top, now we're inside cozy Provence Marina side, joined with a gentleman. He is the owner and executive chef, is Jean-Francis Quaglia. Welcome back to the show. We didn't realize for the first time since late January 2021, we were still distancing then. It's a lot cozier now, but welcome back to the show.
That is correct. That was the last time we filmed in here. But I'm glad this is over. Though.
Yes, yes. We can sit a little closer together. We had to follow the rules, but we filmed a wonderful segment, but you're back on the show. It's great to be back here at Provence.
Thank you.
Great to have you, and not only an award-winning chef, but you come from a line of legendary chefs. Your mom was one of the very first female chefs in France. It's always good to mention that. And you've earned so many awards, which will show up on the screen as well. But we're going to jump right into what you do best, is your amazing food, and amazing food is always trendy.
So what I do best, I don't do that alone, of course. I have lots of chef and sous chef helping me, which is awesome. I have to give credit to everyone. Love the Dover sole today, so that we introduced that last summer. It's a beautiful fish. It's just such a classic, and we do it pan fried, like so sole meunière, and we serve with a lemon butter and smoked herring roe with a little veggies as well.
Beautiful.
One thing that I want to show, which is not necessarily from where I come from, but Chef Sheldon, we have not a blue plate, but we have like a Monday to Friday, a lunch special who come back every Monday. So you have to come for Monday, we have a lamb burger, or Tuesday something else. And Wednesday we have fish and chips. And Sheldon made his own recipe and everything. Very special. We use beer inside the batter, local beer actually. And then some secret ingredient that he doesn't even tell me. So I don't even know.
Sheldon.
Yeah. And then we just coat it in panko and then fry it. We have a homemade French fries with Kennebec potato and a beautiful tartar sauce as well goes there. So this is worth checking it out on Wednesday, and then Thursday something else. On Friday we have a vongole pasta as well as a special. It's a little bit of a discount price, I guess. Awesome to come and repeat what you love.
Perfect.
We'll go over this, which is far too far away from me.
We just decided we're introducing a tasting menu actually for the first time in Provence.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that's going to be the charcoal grilled lamb chop, basically, with the mashed potato, lamb jus. And it's a 6-course. We have 6 or 7 maybe with the dessert. And we also have a niçoise salad, like a tiny niçoise salad that we're going to serve. That's one of the appetizers.
That is definitely one of the guest favorites, though, your niçoise salad.
Well, we also do that on the menu as a bigger size.
Oh, good.
As
so you're
well.
keeping that, but that's just on the tasting menu. Very smart.
Because it's so popular, we said, okay, as a tasting. So basically, we're showcasing items that people love and that we like to showcase, of course.
Perfect.
One that we can go around, it's the bouillabaisse. It's the classic in Provence and in Provence, France as well, Marseille. And we serve it with rouille and some cheese and crostini. You usually take the crostini, put a little rouille on top and cheese, and then you can put it onto the soup while you eat your shellfish and fish. We call it a West Coast bouillabaisse because we don't have all the fish, obviously, from the Mediterranean.
No.
But the fish soup, I must say, is very close to what you can get in the south of France.
And you really are famous for your fish soup.
I am. We actually sell it in package now.
Oh, brilliant.
You heard it here first?
Yeah, so you can come to the restaurant and buy the fish soup at the restaurant.
Well, you're talking, you know what? We've had viewers say that we do need to keep tasting. So we're going to move over there to that as you finish up
Sounds
what's
good.
on the table.
You go ahead. So it's very, very tasty, very different. And it's been on the menu actually since the first restaurant. So 27 years ago.
23 years, I was told by
It's
your
23 years here.
and then
right.
27.
And the other restaurant was a few years before that.
Wow.
And of course, for the summer, a seafood platter, a cold seafood platter with oyster, prawn, escalope ceviche, some fresh Dungeness crab, take out of the shell for you.
Oh.
And a little lobster cocktailish, I guess we could say, with a French cocktail sauce.
Wow.
And the prawn, the oyster, yeah, that's everything. We have a mignonette and here we go.
So this is the first time that Provence, and I'm just going to reiterate that, is introducing the chef's tasting menu, 7 courses. What a delight. And this is very exciting because this is one of your big changes.
It is a big change. The tasting menu will be available on an experience on Open Table only, so it won't be necessarily available all the time. Just you would have to book for the tasting menu.
Good
so
to
then
know.
we can prepare and get ready for when you come.
Wonderful.
JF is going to join us at the end of the show. We're going to talk about some other great things, including a great happy hour, something called After Hours, and a great patio, which is just around the corner. That's coming up a little later in the show. Well, from food to cocktails, and I've got a specific cocktail. It's part of a campaign coming up here at Provence. Ryan Johnson is the bar manager who is joining us from his, I guess we'll call it your cockpit over there, the bar. And you've got a great campaign. It is just in time for the spring and summer that involves spritzes.
Yeah, we're going to introduce 4 spritzes. They're influenced by the Mediterranean, using a lot of those Mediterranean ingredients, inspired by the essence of Provence, I feel like, the garrigue of Provence, if you will, which is just the resinous herbs of lavender and thyme and rosemary and sage that just kind of permeates the whole air through there.
What am I about to sip?
This is, we're calling it the Mistral, which is the wind that blows through the Rhone. It kind of dries everything out.
Oh.
And we have some Manzanilla sherry in there, gin mar from Barcelona.
Right.
Some fresh grapefruits, a little bit of soda, and lots of lemon. So you get this nice little fresh citrus hit with an undertone of earthiness and herbaceousness and like a hint of salinity, just like some thirst
And
quenching.
as I mentioned, this is one of 4 that you have?
1 of 4, yeah. We have something that we're inspired by with some lavender, so some fresh lavender in there, with some Provençal rosé style gin and some fresh lemon. We also have a French spritz with gentian liqueur, which is like a bitter liqueur with chamomile.
Okay, yeah.
And we have some vermouth that goes with that too, some soda. And also a Corsican G&T, which we use a Corsican gin from the little island just off of France. That uses their special Corsican lemons, which is like a thicker skin lemon, to give it a little bit more of a punch. And some fresh herbs in there with basil, grapefruits, and good tonic as
Boy,
well.
that is a good drink. And Lita, this is mine.
Well, I'm here with Joshua Carlson, who is the wine director here at Provence. You're giggling at me because you said to call you Josh or Joshua. You've been on the show before, so we're, old hat, good friends. You have been involved with Provence, in fact, this location for 23 years, as long as they've been around here.
That's right. More on than off, the better part of 23 years. And
that's fantastic. So it's great. I mean, you are the wine director here. In fact, what you're directing right now is some great new wine series. And you can share with our audience what that's all about.
that's okay. It's part of our winemakers dinners. It's just called the Cellar Series. It's in our smaller room that's in just off the wine bar. It seats 14, so it's quite intimate. There's 13 available seats with the inclusion of one principal. Our latest dinner is with Clos Cibon, which is a winery that's dear to my heart. It's one of 23 Cru Classé wineries within Provence that focuses on the Tiburon grape. And the Tiburon grape is a grape that fall out of favor, but because of its orange hue and its kind of more gastronomic flavor, it has a little bit of oak, but it also allows for ageability. I typically have at least 2 of their wines on by the glass as a part of our 140 wines by the glass that we hold, or almost, 300 plus wines by the bottle.
Wow. Wow. You have a great cellar, and also mentioning it's predominantly French, just
Right.
to keeping with the theme of the restaurant, but you even have all kinds of bubbly by the glass as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's great.
Many bubbles, and the focus is France, South France, a little bit of Pacific Northwest, sometimes Northern Italy. So
Nice. And it's good to mention that you traveled where this grape,
Oh,
where
absolutely.
this winery is, and met the people.
yes, of course, it's between Hyères and Toulon on the Mediterranean in Provence, and it's a fantastic place. They make incredible wines, and I'm really happy to be able to join them and to bring them here and allow them to showcase their food from the region.
This segment is sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
Our next guest is a very accomplished author, and his book is very dear to my heart because it's all about North Island, in fact, Port Hardy. And I want to really have a warm welcome to Michel Drouin to our city tonight to talk about your first book.
Yes.
And there's a sequel in the works as well. So we have Past the End of the Road.
Right.
Welcome to our city
Thank
tonight.
you. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I was so excited to read this book, and you were asking how I found out about it. Well, because of my background in Port Hardy, my mom actually still lives there. I was so excited to see that one of our own had written this book about our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. And I think even for those people that think, well, I don't know anything about the North Island, it's intriguing. Your stories are so well told. It really gives somebody a glimpse into a childhood that I don't think anybody has anymore. In fact, you call it free-range child rearing, and that's exactly what I went through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your beginnings.
Well, my parents were French-Canadian. My dad was a itinerant logger. He did what so many loggers did in those days. Came to Vancouver. He had worked on the river drives in Quebec and Ontario. Came to Vancouver, went to the Loggers Agency on Cordova Street, hired out in 1947, and spent the next 6 years traveling up and down the coast, working everywhere from Vancouver to Haida Gwaii.
Wow.
And in 1952, he went back to Quebec and talked his childhood sweetheart, my mother, into marrying and coming to British Columbia.
Yeah, and little did she know that she was going to be then dragged to a very teeny small town, Port Hardy, that was about to have a great explosion, though, too, in the 70s when it introduced Utah mines, which I'm familiar with because my family moved there because of that particular copper mine. Tell us a little bit about your experience, though, as a child, growing up, as you said, free range.
Well, even, as soon as I could walk, I was outside, and as long as the tide was out, my mom let me go play on the beach, and my sister came along 2 years later, and the nearest thing was the beach, so we'd go out there and turn over rocks and looking for crabs and bullheads, and as we got older, would follow the tide line out to the very end, and there were these strange-looking star-like things. I know now they were sea anemones, but the older kids would say, well, those are bloodsuckers. If you step on them, they'll suck your blood right through your gumboot. So, but that was our seaside experiences, and then we played in the forests too.
Well, one of the things about the as you said, free-range child rearing was you got to be wild. You got to shoot a gun very early. Not that we're promoting that, but you got to be a kid. In fact, once you went out, for myself too, our parents didn't know where we were until it was dark again. But parents nowadays don't let their children have these incredible experiences. And how would you say that changed your life?
Well, it made me more confident in the world. I was never comfortable in the city, but the wilderness never scared me. The water should have, but it didn't. You know, from about the age of 8, I was rowing around in the bay, you know, with a pair of oars in my hand and a fishing rod, fishing line dragging out in the ocean behind me. And even though our parents didn't know about it, we would venture farther and farther out from the dock in Port Hardy, and you know where that is. You know, if you're there and look across the Queen Charlotte Strait, you know, you can see the mountains, and we often wondered, I wonder if we could row over there, but we never went that far.
Oh my gosh! But you did. The stories in there are, honestly, if you hadn't known the North Island as I've known, you'd think they're fiction. Just some of the amazing experiences from the bears, from the deer hunting, to the log booms, to the fishing experiences. You really help readers capture the wild North Island, and I ate this book up. I absolutely loved it, and I'm going to encourage all my city friends as well. They'll really get a glimpse into what it was like not even that long ago. I think time has sped up so quickly for us that this isn't a bygone era so far away that it's not within our own reach still.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
My father, talking about fishing, my father had a small rowboat. As soon as he settled in Port Hardy in 1953, he started fishing recreationally. He had a small boat, and as soon as I could walk, he told me that he kept his boat down on the log booms where he worked, and on the weekends he would take me out and he'd put me on the log, and I would walk on the log out to the boat with him behind me. And I grew up walking on logs. I just thought that was natural. It never occurred to me that people didn't do that.
Well, you went on and became, you became a writer fairly early.
Yeah.
You've traveled the world, and now you're settling on Malcolm Island.
In the next book, yes.
Yes, Malcolm Island is, for those of you that know, Sontula, a beautiful place. So that's the next book. We certainly look forward to reading that as well. This is Michelle Drouin's first book. It's called Past the End of the Road, A North Island Boyhood. Thank you for joining us and sharing a little sneak peek into these incredible stories. You are a brilliant storyteller.
Oh, thank you.
This segment was sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
Well, Lita and I are in a very wonderful high-end restaurant that is very popular and one that we have never filmed in before. It's located at the corner of Homer Street and George Street in downtown Vancouver.
Yeah, it's kind of a phenomena that we haven't actually filmed here before, but we're very excited to. The restaurant is called Aqua Farina.
Owned by the same guy who owns Social Corner, per se Social Corner, if you know that restaurant as well. Okay, Lita, we're going to head upstairs and get going with this segment with Choya.
Well, we are now upstairs in the mezzanine area at Aqua Farina, and we're joined by our good friend Shinji from Choya brand and our partners, our dear partners. You have been on the show several times now.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Well, we're really excited to have you back because this brand is definitely gaining prominence. Every time we sit down with you, last time was at the Science of Cocktails, and we were so surprised by the market penetration then, and now it's just so much more. And what a good example of being in this really, really fine restaurant downtown Vancouver. You are how many years old now with Choya brand?
Choya brand So last year, so 110 years anniversary.
110 years
Yes.
last year. Wow. Okay. So definitely been around a long time, been a great brand. How is Canada liking the brand?
Yeah, thank you for you. So
Yeah.
step by step, so we are so distributing to the fine restaurant like this Aquafarina, and we appreciate to use that as a cocktail base.
Yeah, oh, the cocktails are amazing. All the ones we've tried all through the years have just been incredible. I mean, I'm just remembering back we were in West Van with the Choya brand as well, trying cocktails there. So your market penetration has been huge. What are the plans for Choya brand in Vancouver as well as throughout Canada?
Yes, so because Choya using only the natural ingredients, we don't use any artificial ingredients. So very so smooth and natural. And for the cocktail, that is very good to make the so great cocktails with a fine, this kind of fine dining. So we try to promote as a cocktail base as much as possible.
People are looking for healthy alternatives all the time, even more so now. And this is I'm going to say to our viewers, if you haven't tried, it's a great example of going a little purer than what you would with typical liqueurs.
Yes. Also, so the trend is that so the low ABV. So Choya, for example, this is only 7.5%. This is the 23.
Yeah.
So compared with the so spirits, so the Choya is really so good alcohol percentage.
Definitely. And you feel like you're having a real wonderful cocktail too, delicious and so many options as, in fact, Jim's going to point out to us too when he sits down with Julia, the bartender here, for some new fantastic cocktails made with the Choya brand.
Yes, so we do appreciate those so many bartenders create their own great cocktails.
Well, they seem to have a lot of fun doing it because there's a lot of options with this brand.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we appreciate that.
Well, we're joined now by Julia. She is the bar manager here, and she got the memo I sent out that must be blue tie for today. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. First time on the show. Okay, let's talk about some cocktails. You were saying to me that you had a number of Choya cocktails on your dine-out menu, which ended a month and a half ago, but you're keeping them on because they were so popular.
We are. All of the cocktails we made are available. This one, the most popular one, will be printed on our new spring menu. Crowd pleaser.
Let's talk about it. You and I were mentioning earlier, we know a lot of mutual people because you've been around the serving and the dining game for a while. What is it that really attracted you to these Choya products to make cocktails out of?
Hard decision. The entire Choya lineup is absolutely stunning. This one specifically, we have a beautiful crudo bar here at Aquafarina, so we wanted to highlight the green tea, as well as this one itself has some wasabi infused, and it just pairs well with the oysters and everything we have here.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Tell us a little more about this drink and what it is called.
It's called the Utsukushi, which means beautiful. So we took the green tea Choya, infused it with some cucumber. We have some mezcal infused with wasabi, a little bit of ginger peppercorn, and topped with tonic.
Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, boy.
Nice and fresh.
Very nice. Wow. This one I'm excited to try because I love almonds.
That one was fun. A bit of a dessert cocktail, but you can definitely have it on its own. We started with the Choya 23, which has a little bit of a cinnamon flavor to it. So we paired that with an almond flavored grappa, a little bit of chocolate, some extra cinnamon, and turned it into a sour. It's light and fresh.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, love the almonds. Cinnamon's a nice touch too.
Yeah.
The people I know that serve me my drinks, I love that they educate me on a lot of things. Do you find that you're educating people about this brand?
Absolutely. People ask all the time. So it was
looking for something different, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exciting to bring in all the products to be able to have available.
We should mention as well, as we always like to, cocktails are great, but you also offer in one of the Choya cocktails a non-alcoholic cocktail.
We do. We have a lineup of non-alcoholic spirits as well as Prosecco.
Yeah.
So there's a drink for everybody if you're having dry January or not.
Well, that's great, actually. The spring menu, I will definitely buy to sample that, and thank you for involving us, and thank you for involving Choya.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. This segment was brought to you by Choya. For over a century, Choya has been at the heart of Umishu, crafting the finest, most authentic liqueurs. From the soil to the bottle, every step is rooted in tradition and expertise.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Oh, okay, you caught us eating.
Of course.
Back here at Provence, as I talk with my mouth full, my mother is just shrieking right now that I'm doing that. Back here at Provence Marina side to wrap things up. JF joins us again. Let's talk about some of the other great things you have here. A lot of people don't know that you have live music here.
So every Wednesday, it's actually been, I know it's surprising, but it's been almost 7 years that we have live music now on every Wednesday. Jazz band who vary from time to time, but consistent, and it's awesome. It brings Wednesday a different vibe for sure.
Wonderful. And I know that I've come here for brunches. You're very famous for your brunches, of course, dinners too. So you're open at 11 a.m., 10 a.m. on the weekends.
It's at 9 a.m. actually on Saturday, Sunday.
Oh,
yes,
thank
for brunch.
you.
Yes,
Good,
yes.
good,
and
good.
10 a.m. during the week.
10 a.m. during the week.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And so we have brunch weekday as well. I guess a smaller version of the weekend brunch. So we call it the breakfast, but it goes from 10 a.m. to 2:45.
We started the show off. It's a little rainy and it's early spring here in Vancouver when we're filming this, but you've got a great patio with a great view and it's slammed and busy all summer. And you've also got a great thing called After Hour. Explain that, because you've got a good happy hour as well.
After hour, so basically we have an happy hour from 3 to 5, of course. After hour, we just have a smaller limited menu, but you can come and have a glass of wine and a little bite to eat from 9:45. So we end the bulk of the menu, but we have some bite that you can have for an hour. Around 11, we stop serving some food.
Great idea for a summer night.
Show after a movie. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, come check it out. And Jeff, great to have you on the show again. Last time we were all stressed and going through that distancing thing, but we had a great time here, but an even better time this time. Provence Marina side, come check this place out every day. And we thank you. Hey, thanks to Nancy Long for helping us with this as well. And thank you for joining us for the first episode in our 11th year. Glad we could be here at Provence. We should also mention, Lita, check us out, ourcitytonighttv.com. You can check out our brand new podcast. Jeff will be on episode number 2. You can find that on our website as well. That's enough of me talking.
Yes, we're going to say cheers. Cheers. Well,
cheers.
we should have got you the water.
That's
You're
okay.
working.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leapin.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight. Okay, let's everybody eat.
You can contact us and watch past episodes at ourcitytonighttv.com. The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.